So now I'm going to show you the document, this one. It's called Certificate of Heredity or Certificate of Legacy. I don't know the exact term. In Flemish it's called Attest van Erfopvolging. This is the kind of document that is typically produced when once a public notary knows the exact stance of all potential heirs towards the legacy, the exact stance of them towards the legacy of the people who died, of the découillus. It has no sense to produce such a paper while the exact stance of all potential heirs towards the legacy is not known, because the purpose of that is for the bank to know to whom she has to give the money that is due to which potential heirs the money has to be distributed. So they have to know if someone has dismissed the legacy, if someone has accepted it. Here, what happened is that we noticed, and reference is made in Mafia Proceeding 1615F3A, to a paper that they pretend that had been given to me, and they asked me to produce that paper. Of course, when noticing that, we found it very strange because we never asked any paper to anyone. And it was mentioned in the text of these Mafia proceedings that it was a paper that had been issued by a certain public notary, Benoît Heymans, Rue de l'Échevinage, 1A, in Uccle, a district of Brussels. So we turned to him on 7th of April 2017, asking him, what is that paper that they pretend that had been given to us by you and to meet by you? And I turned to him, and he was surprised that we turned up, and so he quickly made a paper, not stating that the children have accepted the legacy, not stating that the children have dismissed the legacy, because at that time it was not the case. So he had to make a paper stating that children have not yet been authorized to dismiss the legacy, which was the situation at that time, because the children have been authorized on 15th of June 2017. So this document dates from 7th of April 2017, and of course he mentioned that the children had not yet been authorized to accept the legacy of their Belgian grandmother. It is written there, dat de twee, under point 7, dat de twee kleinkinderen nog niet door de vrederechter, punt 7, nog niet door de vrederechter werden toegelaten om de nalatenschap van hun grootmoeder te aanvaarden. That the children had not yet been authorized by the justice of the peace to accept the legacy of their Belgian grandmother. And of course we asked him to put a date of the day on it, and he put, of course, the date of 7th of April 2017. Such a paper, of course, is typically an illegal one and mafia one, because he was surprised that we came. We asked to give us a paper, and of course he couldn't write at that time that the children have accepted the legacy, because we would have seen immediately that there was something wrong. He couldn't say that the children have dismissed the legacy, because it would have been contrary to the interests of the mafia to write a paper quoting their children have dismissed the legacy. So he wrote that the children had not yet been authorized to accept the legacy, and he also added, of course, the day of our visit, 7th of April 2017. This doesn't exist in the falsified version of the files. Why? Because the aim of the mafia is that, of course, to produce, that Benoît Heymans would produce a paper stating that the children have accepted the legacy. First, to force the children to accept the legacy, and then to make a paper according to which the children have accepted the legacy of their Belgian grandmother, and probably that the date of 7th of April 2017 will be changed as well, because reference is made in the Mafia proceedings 16-153A to a document dating from 2014 or 2015. But apparently on 2017 it was written that children had not yet been authorized to accept it. So it's also illegal to produce a document in 2004 with a date in 2014 or 2015 stating that children have accepted the legacy, if on the 7th of April 2017 it's written that the children had not yet been authorized to accept the legacy. This is typically a kind of Mafia example.